Tonight on the evening news.
The Bombers booked their ticket to the 99th Grey Cup thanks to a win against the Tiger Cats. Plus, a fitting final farewell to Canad Inns Stadium. And Canada's newest millionaires, 2 short-order cooks, serve up a winning ticket.
From the Global Winnipeg Studios, the evening news with Brenna Rose.
Let the celebration begin.
That final touchdown run by Chris Garrett sealed the deal on the Bombers' 19-3 Eastern final win over Hamilton this afternoon. Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's official, the Blue and Gold are Grey Cup bound. For many faithful fans, today's win against the Hamilton Tiger Cats is bittersweet. After a 58-year run, the Bombers say goodbye to a piece of the team, Canad Inns Stadium. Global's Tamara Falansky reports.
What better way to send off the old stadium than with a lot of cheering in more ways than one?
To the Bombers!
Bombers!
Sunday's sold-out East Division final between the Blue Bombers and Hamilton Tiger Cats is the last game ever at Canad Inns Stadium.
Oh, yeah, I remember when it first opened. We thought it was pretty fancy, pretty good. Now we can't wait to get rid of it.
It was in 1956 Herb Johnson bought his first season ticket. He'll never forget watching Bomber great Kenny Plain take to the turf. But the 87-year-old's most cherished memory, well, that would have to be cheering on the Blue and Gold with his dad by his side.
You couldn't ask for better company to be with. I mean, he was a great Bomber fan. He loved the Bombers, and I just loved to be with him. And it grew on me. His love passed on to me.
It's in these stands that infectious football fever spread from generation to generation.
I've been here very long, maybe since I was 2 and all the way up till now.
And the players themselves couldn't help but get wrapped up in the nostalgia of saying goodbye.
This really is our last opportunity here to pay homage to all the great teams and the storied legacies that have happened in these confines of this stadium.
For 58 years, football fans have flocked to this stadium to cheer on their team, but they weren't always so supportive of the building itself.
I'm looking forward to the new stadium and to new things. So
new washrooms.
Yeah, new washrooms
Larger
too, and bigger, more lake room and everything.
That will all come next season when the new $190 million stadium opens in South Winnipeg. Even with shiny new digs, fans won't soon forget all the fun had on the old turf.
I was here for the Hall of Fame game a couple of years ago when Milt Stegall caught 4 passes and each one of them was for a touchdown. Never forget that.
And there's no doubt many more memories were made today when the boys in blue secured their spot in the Grey Cup. Tamara Falansky, Global News.
Coming up later in sports, Mitch Rossett has highlights from the Bombers' big win.
Next stop, Vancouver. The Bombers are 1 win closer to snapping their 20-year Grey Cup championship drought after beating the Ticats in the first Winnipeg-hosted Eastern final in 10 years. And clearly history was on the Big Blue side as the Bombers have now won 6 of 7 division finals against Hamilton. The Bombers with an edge heading into this game, having swept their season series against the Ticats. Sunday's match, the first ever playoff game for Paul LaPolice as a head coach. Doug Brown playing his final home game with retirement on the horizon. More than 30,000 packing Canad Inns Stadium for the final game of the 58-year-old barn. And everyone braving a -21 wind chill. Well, mostly everyone. Odell Willis testing out the cold before kickoff. The division final getting underway with a dicey call. Opening drive for Hamilton. Kevin Glenn hits Marcus Thigpen for a 16-yard gain. But Winnipeg challenges the catch, saying Thigpen lost the ball before being taken down. The refs, though, stick with the call on the field. And it doesn't matter as the Cats get nowhere from it. But on their second drive, Glenn and Avon Coburn connect for a 12-yard catch and run. setting up an 18-yard chip off the foot of Justin Medlock, giving the Ticats a 3-0 lead. Buck Pierce making his first postseason start since 2008 and dodges a bullet early on as the Bombers recover his fumble. Winnipegger Eddie Steele with the tackle at the end of the play. Next, Bombers go around 3rd and 1 for Winnipeg. The Big Blue line up in shotgun formation, but turn it over on downs. Second quarter now, the Big Blue finally get their run game ticking. Pierce with the 17-yard jog, making his way inside Hamilton's 30. Garrett later carries Winnipeg closer to the funhouse thanks to the 16-yard run to the 3. But a scary moment for Bomber fans as Pierce limps off to get his ankle taped up. Winnipeg caps things off with the least likely of receivers.
And it's a touchdown.
Jason Vega hauls in the Alex Brink pass for the game's first major. Bombers jump in front 7-3. The Ticats so quickly dial right back as Bakari Grant gobbles up the short Glenn pass and finds himself a wide-open route, racking up 40 yards to bring Hamilton inside Winnipeg's 40. But on the ensuing play, Swaggerville drops Chris Williams for a huge loss. Jonathan Hefty with the tackle. So the Bombers back with the pigskin, but the chilly temperatures obviously playing a factor. Pierce butterfingers the ball for the second time this half and barely recovers. Pierce then decides to play it safe with less than 5 minutes in the half, airing one out to a wide-open Terrence Edwards for the 36-yard gain, puncturing Hamilton's red zone. And the Bombers' drive is stalled with Winnipeg settling instead for a 22-yard Pilardi field goal. The Big Blue take a 10-3 lead into recess. Third quarter, Hamilton deep in their zone with Glenn going to his legs to try and move the ball out, was instead hit hard by Rodney Fritz, injuring his right leg on the play. Glenn's day is done. Bombers with the ball now a little more than 5 minutes in, and Garrett continues to rack up the miles, adding 13 more to his total. That eventually leads to another Pilardi boot, this time from 37 yards out, to give Winnipeg a 10-point lead. Final quarter to be played at Canad Inns Stadium. Quinton Porter now in that QB with Fritz getting up into his grill. Ensuing play, the headaches continue for Porter as he chucks one right into the midst of Alex Suber. Bombers now with the chance to essentially put this game to bed. And who else would they go to besides Chris Garrett? Garrett with another monster run, this time for 25 yards. Then right when you think it's over, the Tabbies give it one last kick. Hickman picks off Pierce inside Hamilton's red zone, but Swaggerville takes over. Sacking Porter once again. Fritz with his second. Final 2 minutes, Bombers punting when Thigpen tries to set up a decent return, but instead throws it away. Clint Kent hopping on the loose ball. And what a better way to end it with Chris Garrett going with zeros on the clock.
Goodbye, stadium. Hello, Grey Cup game.
The Bombers are crowned East Division champs, booking their ticket to the 99th Grey Cup. Winnipeg's first since 2007, thanks to a 19-3 final. And the Bombers with a chance to snap a 20-year drought, the longest in league history. Next week's CFL Championship will also mark the third Winnipeg takes part in since 2001. With more from the game, here's Global's Russ Thompson.
The Bombers relied on their suffocating defense all season long, and the East Final was certainly no different as they shut down the Ticats from start to finish to advance to the Grey Cup. These cold weather games often determined by the success of the running game, and the Bombers front seven nullifying speedy running back Yvonne Coburn, while Bombers back Chris Garrett rushed for 190 yards along the ground.
Offense, you know, my hat goes off to my offensive line. They did a hell of a job. They opened up holes for me. It made it real easy for me to find a way to make something happen.
We asked him to do, you know, so much in the protection game and carrying the ball as much as he does, and he's so willing and so hungry as a young player, you know. And I think he made his mark today.
He creates 7-yard gains sometimes out of nothing, and certainly he can be explosive and make people miss and all of a sudden hit a 20-yard gain. So it allows you to stay on the field. It eliminates 2 and outs.
I think that this offensive line's been under a lot of scrutiny this year, some of it undeserved, but I think that we went out there today and proved what we were made of.
You guys have been looking for a complete team effort for a number of weeks now. I think, is this the one you've been waiting for?
That was it, man. Even though we only scored 13 points of offense, I think we played great. Defense, man, 3 points, they scored 50 last week. 3 points. Our defense played a hell of a game.
Defensively, the Bombers didn't surrender a single point in the second half, limiting the Ticats to just 44 yards of total offense after halftime.
At one point, I thought PETA was going to file injunction against us because we were so physical with those Tiger Cats out there tonight, let me tell you. So it was a lot of fun, though, man.
We came out and we know it's win to go home. I mean, we don't want to come out and have what-ifs. Nobody want no what-ifs at this time of the year.
It feels so good because, you know, all the heat that we took last year as a team, people saying that we weren't worthy, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that, but you know, through it all, we stuck together.
How tough's that 9 o'clock meeting tomorrow morning going to be?
No comment.
So the Bombers shut down Canad Inns Stadium on a winning note and advanced to their 3rd Grey Cup in a decade. Players will have team meetings bright and early tomorrow, and then it's off to Vancouver on Tuesday on the road to the 99th Grey Cup. At Canad Inns Stadium, Russ Hobson, Global Sports.
The Blue and Gold Report brought to you by Booster Juice. 7 locations in Winnipeg.